China stands out on the global panorama not only for being the country with the largest population, but also for its impressive track record of economic and technological growth. With a population approaching 155 billion people, this vast country is a treasure of history and culture. In this video, I invite you to discover some of the most ambitious and unique projects that have emerged in China. Today, we will present you the best projects, and the last one will leave you with your mouth open. Hongqiao has become a crucial intermodal passenger transportation hub. Its extension exceeds 1,000 meters and connects the suburban areas of Chengdu and Minya with Shanghai. This hub includes Shanghai Zheng International Airport, a high-speed intercity station, 3-line subway buses, taxi rank, and maglev. This hub makes it easy for Shanghai residents and visitors to quickly switch from one mode of transportation to another. The opening of this node is essential, given that Shanghai is an extremely populated city. Zheng Airport can serve more than 40,000 people annually and is designed to manage more than 1,000 daily trips. It is possible to travel from Beijing to Shanghai in just 4 hours. The creation of this large transportation hub was conceived in 2005. 1 year later, the Shanghai government established the Shanghai Organization, Investment in Rainbow, who dedicated himself to the construction of the complex as part of the world's infrastructure plan. The work was completed at the end of 2009, and the Hongqiao node began to operate in 2010, effectively solving Shanghai's transportation and congestion problems. Chinese cities such as Hangzhou, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen have also begun investing in the construction of similar nodes. Floating stadiums are gaining popularity globally. The most famous and largest is located in Singapore, in Marina Bay, with a capacity of 30,000 people. However, China plans to surpass this record by building an even larger floating stadium. A recently developed stadium model has a capacity for more than 100,000 spectators and will be used for various sports competitions. Its exterior design imitates a lotus flower, symbolizing peace, purity, and harmony. Although the details of the start of works and the cost of the project are still unknown, it is expected to be the largest and most expensive floating stadium in the world. Beijing South Station is the second largest railway station in Asia, with an area of 320,000 meters and 24 platforms. The original station dates from 1897 and was maintained until 2006. When the Chinese authorities decided to build a larger railway complex, the project developed by British architects from TFPY, LS University, was inaugurated on August 1, 2008, standing out for its size and design. The station has shops, restaurants, and recreation areas, including VIP lounges. Beijing South Station, with 24 platforms, can serve up to 30,000 passengers per hour. Hangzhou One Bay Cable-stayed bridge is the third longest bridge over water in the world, with a length of nearly 36 kilometers. This transport link connects Kissing and Ningbo, and its construction lasted from 2003 to 2008. The work shortened the distance between Shanghai and Ningbo by 160 kilometers and promoted the economic integration of the region. The total cost of construction amounted to about 12 billion yuan, equivalent to $1,500 billion in 2004. China has at least 30 nuclear power plants in operation and more than 20 under development. The construction and maintenance of these plants require large investments, but they are essential for the country's economy. The Xinjiang nuclear power plant, located on the east coast of the China Sea in Zhejiang province. Construction began in 1985 and was China's first independent nuclear power plant. Similar reactors were supplied to Pakistan, and its successful launch of the plant generated great national pride. Currently, the Xinjiang nuclear power plant includes 7 power units, according to experts, with an installed capacity of 4,386 megawatts. And the initial cost of building the station was $3 billion. Zhongzhou East Station is the largest railway station in China and is located near Henan Yandubi New Business District. Construction of this station began in June 2009 and was completed in September 2012. In the same year, the high-speed train traffic line to Beijing was put into operation. Currently, from this station you can reach the western part of the Chinese capital in just 22 hours. In 2013, the station was connected to the city metro and 1 year later to the Gangzhou International Railway. The most important discovery of the construction of the East Railway Station was the high-speed train from Beijing to Hong Kong, allowing residents and visitors of Zhengzhou to reach Hong Kong in just 6:30 h. The station has an area of 350,000 meters, with 32 runways and 30 platforms. This huge station had a construction cost of 4 billion yuan, which was equivalent to more than $500,000 last year. Baiyun International Airport, located in Guangzhou Guadu District. It completed its construction in August 2004, replacing its predecessor of the same name, located 12 kilometers closer to the city center. In 2007, this airport was the second busiest in China, serving more than 30,000 passengers. Realizing that its capacity was still insufficient, the Guangzhou authorities decided to renovate it in 2009, thus doubling its passenger capacity. The opening of this modern airport solved the problems of the previous one, which could not expand due to its location within the city. In 2020, as a result of the new coronavirus pandemic, many airports around the world saw their passenger traffic reduced, allowing Baiyun Airport to lead the number of passengers that year. Baiyun Airport's construction cost was about 20 billion yuan, or over $2,008 billion. Shanghai Tower is the tallest skyscraper in China and the world's third tallest freestanding structure, surpassed only by Dubai's Burj Khalifa and Tokyo's Skytree. It's situated in Pudong District on the east bank of Shanghai's River Huangpu. This building has a height of 632 meters and a total area of 38,000 meters. The decision to build the tower was made in 1993, although the development and approval of the project took 15 years. The foundation began in 2008 and required the installation of around 1,000 foundation piles at a depth of more than 85 meters poured with 6-meter thick concrete. The construction lasted 6 years, and at the end of 2014, the interior decoration works began. The exterior of the building is covered by more than 20,000 distinctive glass panels. A feature of the building is its twisted shape, the opening of which took place in February 2015. Shanghai Tower is a commercial and business complex that includes shops, restaurants, offices, entertainment centers, and conference rooms. On the ground floor is a museum of the city with wax figures and an interior that reflects the culture and life of China's residents. On the 118th floor of the tower, there is an observation deck that offers impressive views of one of the most populated cities in the world. The construction cost of the Shanghai Tower has not been officially reported. But according to experts, this figure ranges between $3,000 and $4,000 to $500,000. The Suzhou Industrial Park is a joint project between China and Singapore. This park is located in Suzhou City, Jiangsu Province, China, and covers an area of 278 km². The history of the foundation of this industrial zone began in 1992, when the then Supreme Leader of China, Deng Xiaoping, after long discussions with representatives of both governments, decided to create a joint industrial project. His show was chosen as the site for construction due to its proximity to the financial center of Shanghai. Thus, in February 1994, his show park was inaugurated. Initially, only 35% of the shares belonged to China, while the remaining 65% was in the hands of the Singapore government. Over time, Singapore gradually sold its shares due to considering the territory of its show unattractive economically. As a result, the park recorded losses of more than $23,000 in 1999. However, Unlike Singapore, China continued to believe in this project, focusing on selling apartments in scenic locations and attracting large investors. These hopes were justified despite the initial losses. In 2019, more than 25,000 enterprises operated in the industrial park, and the foreign trade volume reached more than $1 trillion, once again demonstrating China's economic capacity. The high-speed train connecting Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong is part of the network of transportation hubs linking the city of Yulu in Hong Kong with mainland China. The total length of this railway line is 142 kilometers, and the construction of the high-speed tracks began in 2007. The first section of the line was put into operation in 2011, dividing into two sections. The first includes 5 stations in mainland China, with a length of 116 kilometers, connecting the cities of Guangzhou, Dongguan, and Shenzhen, with trains reaching up to 350 kilometers each. The second section is located in Hong Kong and has a length of 26 kilometers, mostly composed of underground tunnels, despite numerous protests from Hong Kong residents. What about strained relations with the continental government? Hong Kong invested more than $8 billion in the construction of this line. This investment began to bear fruit, since the capacity of the lines is 79,000 people per day. Tianfu International Airport is the second international airport in Chengdu, the capital of southwest China's Sichuan province. It is located in Luxia City, 50 kilometers from downtown Chengdu. The need for a second airport arose in 2007 due to the continuous population growth and the increased performance of the first airport inaugurated 86 years ago. In 2011, the authorities began looking for a site for the new airport, finally selecting Luxia. Construction of Tianfu began in September 2015 and opened to passengers in 2021. This airport has 3 runways and 2 terminals, with a capacity of 60 million passengers per year. In the future, it is planned to build 3 more runways, doubling the capacity of the airport. The construction of the second major international airport has made Chengdu the 3rd most important city in China, after Beijing and Shanghai. This decision was correct, since the population of Chengdu exceeds 20 million inhabitants. The Beijing-Shanghai high-speed train is the fastest in the world, with trains reaching speeds of up to 380 km/h. The total length of the railway line is 1,318 kilometers, connecting 2 of China's main economic zones, the Beihai Gulf and the Yangtze River Delta. This train allows you to travel from Beijing to Shanghai in just 4 hours. Construction of this line began in April 2008. And it lasted a little over 2 years, which is incredibly fast. Considering the scale of the project, more than 135,000 people participated in the construction. Now the line is not only the fastest, but also one of the busiest in the world. With a passenger flow of 220,000 people daily at peak hours, trains leave the station every 3 minutes. The Kaiskaya line is parallel to the old railway, and it also passes through 21 cities along its route. Along the route, there are 244 bridges, including the Danyang-Kunshan Viaduct, which is the longest in the world, with a length of 164 kilometers. In addition, 22 tunnels have been built on the line, with a total length of 16 kilometers. The construction cost of the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway highway, it amounted to $33 billion. In recent decades, China has become a leader in renewable energy production. Around 40% of the world's wind farms are located in its territory. The world's largest wind farm, known as Gansu, is also located in China. This wind turbine complex is located in the west of Gansu province, on the outskirts of the Gobi Desert, in 2023. This park generated just over 10 gigawatts of energy, with an installed capacity of 7,965 megawatts, which exceeds any other wind farm in the world. For example, the second largest wind farm located in India has a capacity of only 1.6 gigawatts. China plans to further increase the capacity of its complex by doubling it by 2025. The construction of this facility has been divided into several stages. And so far, the total cost of building the Gansu wind farm is approximately $32 billion. Currently, the complex provides electricity to more than 200,000 homes. However, its capacity could be much greater were it not for the fact that many provinces continue to use coal in their industries, thus supporting coal mining organizations. Despite this, the Chinese government is working to completely switch to wind farms in order to improve the country's ecological status. The Quebrada Gravity Dam and hydroelectric plant is located in Hubei province on the Yangtze River. This hydroelectric plant is the most powerful in the world. In 2020, during intense rains, its generation also reached a record of 118 billion kilowatt-hours. This structure is considered the largest in terms of mass in the world, with more than 65.5 million tons. The idea of building this facility arose in 1919, and 13 years later, the Chinese government ordered the development of the project to begin. However, this was interrupted by the Sino-Japanese War and the subsequent Civil War. China returned to the project in the 1990s. Construction of the dam began in December 1994 and was completed in July 2012. This project has become one of the largest in the country, with an estimated cost of $30,000. Initially, it was planned that the hydroelectric plant would be paid for in 10 years. But to the surprise of the authorities, the capital's international airport was paid after only 4 years since it came into operation. Also known as the capital, it is the largest in China and is located 20 kilometers from Beijing. Its passenger traffic in recent years has averaged 100 million people per year. The airport was opened in 1958 and was the first airport in this country. Initially, the terminal was only accessible to high-ranking residents of the country. Over time, it became accessible to the rest of the population. However, for a country as populous as China, a small terminal was not enough for passenger service, so it was decided to gradually expand the territory of the capital airport. Currently, the airport consists of 3 terminals. The first was inaugurated at the beginning of 1980. The second in November 1999, and the third in March 2008. The latter is the largest terminal not only in China, but also in the world. Now, Beijing Capital Airport is a real pride for China, having received numerous world-class awards and being recognized as one of the best and safest airports in the world. It offers incredible comfort for its passengers and impresses with its unusual starfish design and modern infrastructure. The Jam Bridge is located on the border of Guanlin and Qin counties and is not part of the Shanghai-Kunming Expressway. This bridge is notable for taking first place in the list of the tallest bridges in the world, with a suspended structure reaching a height of 565 meters. It offers fantastic views of the local landscape, where travelers can sometimes observe the clouds below the bridge, thus earning the nickname the Road to the Clouds. The construction of this bridge was carried out by several tens of thousands of people, who, despite the complexity of the landscape, managed to erect a structure 1341 mm long. The first stages of construction began in 2011, but they had to be suspended for 2 years. In 2013, construction resumed, which lasted 3 years in total, with a cost of about $150 million. Now, the bridge is a popular place among residents of both counties. Before its construction, the journey from one point to another took about 5 hours. Now, this route is traveled in at least 1 hour in 2022. China once again surprised the world by presenting the first dual-fuel tanker for transporting crude oil, known as Maxell. This tanker, built by the International Show Shipyard, has a displacement of 158,100 T and is capable of operating both with liquefied natural gas and crude oil. The possibility of using gasoline. It will significantly help to reduce emissions harmful to the environment. In addition, the main engine of the vessel, driven by a high-pressure system, guarantees complete combustion of the liquefied natural products, thus helping to restore the gas. Manufacturers have proposed that in the future, other countries may use similar tankers of the Max Cup type. These ships, capable of passing through the Suez Canal, have an average width of 60 meters, a length of 330 meters, and a height of no more than 68 meters. In 2022, China presented not only this tanker, but also other surprising developments in shipbuilding, reaffirming its goal of becoming the leading country in literally everything. Further proof of this is the Tianyan radio telescope, also known as the Heavenly Eye, located in Guizhou province. With a diameter of 500 lotometers and an effective area of 196168 m2, this radio telescope is another example of China's impressive technological advances. At that time, scientists began to seriously think about developing the concept of the celestial eye. However, the first stages of design only started in 2008. Construction of the telescope began in 2011 and lasted 5 years. The celestial eye turned out to be a unique scientific project. This radio telescope consists of 4,500 triangular panels, each one of which measures 11 m. The telescope's receiving antennas are placed with exceptional precision on a high-precision platform. With an antenna positioning planned for 8 arcseconds. Thanks to this telescope, Chinese scientists have obtained the opportunity to study not only the evolution, but also the formation of galaxies, as well as track many distant objects in space and solve an incredible number of scientific tasks. The successful construction and operation of Tianjiang was a real sensation not only for China, but also for science in general. In 2021, an astronomy museum, the largest planetarium in the world, opened in Link Newtown in Shanghai's Pudong district. No wonder that, literally, immediately after its opening, getting tickets to visit it was almost impossible. The museum became so popular with tourists and locals that its leadership had to limit the number of visitors to 5,000 people per day by prior reservation. But what could have captured people's interest so much in this museum? Of course, the main reason is the size of the planetarium, whose area is 39,000 acres massive. On the territory of the museum, there are gigantic exhibition halls, a solar telescope, research centers, and spheres. In addition, the design of the museum presents a model of the universe. This unusual project concept was presented by American architects who won a competition organized by the Chinese government in 2014. There's not a single straight line in this building. Everything has a rounded shape, and if you look at the planetarium from above, you will notice its similarity to the planets of our universe. The exhibits in the museum are incredibly unique, including lunar samples, original meteorites, and works by Kepler, Galileo Galilei, and many other rare objects related to astronomy. The exact cost of this project remains an unknown, but I believe it was as astronomical as its design. The design and construction of viaducts, representations of bridge-type transportation facilities, has been practiced since ancient Rome. Even in this type of construction, China has managed to stand out. Among other countries in the world, one of the prides of this country is the Danyang Kunshan Viaduct, located in the eastern province of Jiangzhou, between Shanghai and Nanjing. This viaduct is registered in the Guinness Book of Records as the longest bridge in the world, with a total length of just over 164 kilometers, to cover this distance by car at a speed of 90 km/h. It would take almost 2 hours. Now you can imagine how old this viaduct is. If you think that building such a large bridge would require an incredible amount of time, you're wrong. Chinese builders were able to erect this structure in just 2 years. In 2011, the viaduct was put into operation and became part of the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed train. 2,500,000 m3 of concrete were needed for the construction of the bridge, and about 500,000 tons of steel were used. The overall cost of the viaduct construction reached $10 billion. This is where the river led us. If you enjoyed the video, please rate it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. Please give me a strong like and share it with your friends. Your active participation is my best reward. Also, feel free to leave a comment about your favorite projects. Thank you for your attention, and here is another video. See you there. Goodbye.